Welcome to Canadian Quadders Review. I'm back in the swing of things, and this is our first official review for 2020. We are looking at a 2020 Kawasaki Brute Force 750, and it's from Valley Motorsports here in Kelowna, BC, Canada. So stay tuned, we got lots to talk about. Alrighty, doing a review today on one of my favorites. My very first machine was a 2006 Kawasaki Brute Force 650 with a solid axle on the rear. It was a great starter bike. It's still a great machine to this day, and I do quite like the Kawasaki product. So by looking at this machine, I can tell that they've kept the technology very much the same as they did back in 2006. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It was a rugged machine, it is solid, it's well built, it just went everywhere. So why change it if it ain't broke? The only thing I would have done different back in those days was to add a independent rear suspension, which is what they've done here. So I like this particular model because it actually comes with aluminum wheels. It looks a lot better than just black steelies like my other one had. And they've done a few changes to the body style and stuff, which I think looks really cool. I love the blue color. It's got some really good storage space up on the front, which some models actually, from other manufacturers, they don't have that, and I miss that big time. I think it's such an important thing to have. These guys nailed it. They did a great job for storage on the front. So, as I said, this is a 2020 Kawasaki Brute Force 750 4x4i EPS. So it's got your electronic power steering. So it's twin cylinder as usual. So it's got that awesome Kawasaki sound. 4-stroke single overhead cam. 749cc displacement. Of course, it's got your CVT transmission, shaft driven, and of course it's got reverse. Stock, it will come with Duro AT tires on it, which are usually 4-ply, 25 by 8 by 12 in the front, 25 by 10 by 12 in the rear. It's got dual hydraulic disc brakes in the front and a sealed oil bath multi-disc brake in the rear. So I'm on the fence actually with the whole oil bath brake thing in the rear. It was Kawasaki, and I believe Suzuki also did that too. The biggest advantage to it is that they're always lubed and they never wear out, so they say. My Kawi was older when I bought it, and it definitely needed some adjustments back there, so I don't know, and I never did get a chance to adjust it, so I wasn't sure if my brakes were actually worn out back there or if it was just an adjustment. But I guess if you buy your machine new, it should be alright. So as I said, this is a V-twin 4-stroke. It's got 42.7 foot-pounds of torque. The torque RPM basically happens at 4750. It's liquid cooled, of course. 8 valves. Electric start, of course. Fuel injected, which is nice. It'll save you some money on fuel, and you'll be able to ride at any elevation without any issues. So the wheelbase on this guy is 50.6 inches, or 1285.2 millimeters. The fuel capacity is 5 gallons or 18.9 liters. The seat height is 35.8 inches or 909 millimeters. Of course, it's a one-up. Technically, you shouldn't have two people on here. The driveline is obviously a selectable 4x2 and 4x4. It does have a limited slip differential that comes standard, and it's got a locking front diff that's also standard. And if you remember, these Cowies are known for their yellow lever on the front bar. So you pull that lever like you would a handbrake and it locks in your front locking diff. Some say that's actually a benefit because you can actually choose how much you want it locked in. Press it very little, it isn't locked in so much. Press it all the way, it's fully locked. I guess there might be some advantages to that. I've never actually experienced that myself, actually, with my own. Another great thing about this brute force is the fact that they kept the metal racks. A lot of the manufacturers right now are changing over to molded plastic racks. I'm sure there's pros and cons to everything in life, but personally, I would rather something metal and solid, especially tube-like structure like this. You can put bungee cords around it and things like that. You don't have to worry about finding space. Your load might not end exactly where a hook is on the plastic models. Here you can hook anywhere you want. And I'm happy that they actually kept those because it's huge. And then you have this one up front here too. It actually goes in there fairly deep. And it's got a foam seal on it as well, so there should be some sort of protection against moisture and dust. May not be 100% sealed, but be better than nothing for sure. So you got your typical controls, right? Your start button, this is for your headlights, your kill switch, your override switch. So for those of you that are new with this and you don't know what that is, an ATV, when you put it into reverse, normally it doesn't give you full power for safety reasons. But if you're in a bind, stuck in a mud hole or something, you need full power, press and hold this thing down, give it throttle, and you will have 100% power. This is the famous locking front diff lever that I keep talking about. So you can choose, how much you want to pull that in for how much of a grab that you want. I could see how that could be beneficial, I think. It does have a 12-volt power supply. Your dipstick is easy to get at, and that would be where you fill your oil as well, so that'd be cool. Some decent boards to place your feet. And this is your PSI for tires. There's your independent rear suspension with your adjustable shocks that are all around. And you got a place right down there to put your trailer hitch ball. I think that would be something I would change. Instead of just a tab like that for a trailer hitch ball, make it a 2-inch receiver. So this is what you're going to find under the seat. So some of your tools and stuff are there. This is where you're going to find your air filter. So overall, the Kawi Brute Force is a really, really nice bike. If you're looking at something to do, work around the farm, or just do your ATVing with the guys, go camping or hunting and that kind of stuff, this is a great all-around machine. And you can expect great quality from it as well. I really didn't have any issues with my old machine, and it was old and beat up when I got it, and it actually did me quite well for at least the year or so that I had it. I would highly recommend that you look into the Kawasaki brand. It's been around a long time. Its technology is solid, it's reliable, and it's definitely something worth looking into. The only recommendations I have If you're serious about doing any trail riding and stuff like that, if it's not just for farm use, if you're going to buy this machine, spend a little bit extra money and get yourself some decent tires and a winch. A winch is incredibly useful, even for taking down some fallen trees on the trail if you don't have a chainsaw, or helping your buddy out or helping yourself out if you get stuck. And the tires, what can I say? What comes with it is a half decent tire, but it's only a 4-ply. You would definitely want at least a 6-ply. Just a little bit more protection on the trail. And usually the higher end tires will give you much better traction and longevity and things like that. What comes with the bike is definitely doable. It will last you a while. It'll get you going if you don't have the money right away. But definitely consider changing those in the future just to be a little further ahead of the game. So once again, guys, thank you so much for checking out my channel and spending the time with me. I hope there was some decent information in here for you. Driving this thing around to the back here for this review, it felt awesome. It's sturdy, it's stable, it just feels solid. And I know the 750's got a ton of power, so you're going to have some fun with this too. So thank you again for watching. And a huge thank you to Valley Motorsports here in Kelowna. These guys are awesome. Come in here and talk to Jeremy and let them know that Canadian Quarters Review sent you, and they'll take good care of you. Tune in next week and we're going to be checking out a 1000cc Kawi Teryx side by side. This thing looks awesome. Alright, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.